Hi, I'm the Artie Dans and welcome to this movie review of Furie, also known as Hai Phuong. Now, I need to apologise up front for my mispronunciation of the following Vietnamese names and locations. I have to admit, I've never seen a Vietnamese film, so when this film entered my radar, I was instantly attracted to it. And while it sounded very interesting, I was skeptical that this would be just another gory Southeast Asian action film. The appeal for me was definitely country of origin, as story-wise there's nothing on offer here that we haven't seen before. In fact, this feels like a Vietnamese version of the film Taken. So how does it stack up against that film? Watch on to find out.
Ê, làm gì hôm nay có nhiêu đây vậy?
Còn 7 rô với 9 dài mai tôi đòi tiếp.
Tháng này mày thiếu tôi 4 lần rồi nha mày. Làm được không? Làm không được tao kêu Út Đèn nó làm.
Vietnamese actress, model and singer Veronica Ngo Van plays in the starring role of Hai Phuong, an ex-gangster from a martial arts family who now lives as a hired hand for a debt collector in a small village. She lives with her young daughter Mai, who is being bullied at school for being a bastard child. One afternoon, while attempting to pawn a keepsake, Mai is accused of stealing a purse, and in the chaos of the assembled kangaroo court, she is kidnapped. Hai Phuong tries to keep up with the kidnappers, but ultimately loses sight of them once they board a bus to Saigon. With nothing to lose, she heads to Saigon to get her daughter back. With the similarities to Taken, I kept waiting for our main character to utter the famous line that she had a very specific skill set and that she was going to catch the people responsible. And she certainly does have skills. In martial arts, a Vietnamese technique called Vo Việt Nam. Veronica does a great job in the starring role, although I'm not sure of what her actual skill in the chosen martial art is. The problem with a lot of the fighting scenes is that they seem very stop-start. The flow of something like Iko Ue's scenes in, for example, Headshot are nice and smooth. There's even a nice long camera take in the police station that shows the hard work the action choreographers did. In this film, the quick cuts and short bursts of action seem to highlight a cast not familiar with these types of scenes. There's even moments in fights where characters wind up for unnecessary hits or do a move that would use more energy than the payoff is worth. And that's really evident in the final fight in the train carriage, and also seems a little contradictory to the actual Vo Việt Nam techniques. Speaking of acting, Veronica is well supported by the young actress who plays her daughter Mai. She does a great job, and it's refreshing to see such quality child acting in an Asian film.
Không khác. Ý ơi, không khác. Sao không ấy? Có hả?
Con xuống đây làm gì? Đi lên học bài đi. Ở đây để ý lo. Mau lên.
During the movie, we are treated to a smorgasbord of eye candy with the Vietnamese scenery. Scenes in the village they live in, with a busy marketplace in proximity to a fishing river and bamboo trees, are juxtaposed when Hai reaches Saigon, where a concrete jungle of buildings, neon lights, and sketchy back alleys make up the environment. The work done by the cinematographer highlights an authentic Vietnamese feeling, and luckily for us, the wobbly camera work which seems to have permeated modern action movies is kept to a minimum. What does need some work is the computer effects, especially the green screen keying, with the fighting scenes on top of and inside the train showing obvious signs of matte work. It's just not as polished as what you'd expect from Hollywood cinema, but then again, this isn't a Hollywood movie. For action junkies, you're well catered for here, especially as this would be most likely the first time you've seen the art of Vo Việt Nam in action. Gunplay is kept to an absolute minimum, and the order of the day here is more on the fighting scenes than elaborate wirework and unrealistic stunts. This grounds the movie in some realism, as I find wirework can really detract from the action on screen.
Con tao đâu?
For thriller fans, this movie will also satisfy your needs. The kidnapping storyline is not overly complicated and definitely not confusing, so it's easy enough to follow along while still having tension and drama added via the deadline that Hai must reach before everything is too late. If you've always wanted to see Taken as a Vietnamese action movie with a female lead, then this movie is for you. It's action-packed with a decent story and no gore. Recommended for those brave enough to want to explore more Southeast Asian cinema. But if you're just approaching the genre, I'd probably recommend getting your fix with something like The Raid first. Have you seen Furie or are interested in it? Leave a comment below with your thoughts. If you like this review, please like the video and consider subscribing to support this channel. You can check out more reviews here on YouTube, over on Reddit at Asian Film Fans Sub, and at www.theartydans.com.